Hi, I'm Sarah Coleman, and there's something I need to share with you, something that truly transformed my life. I've struggled to find the words to tell this story, but it's far too important to keep to myself. On April 3rd, 2023, I had an experience that defies anything I ever thought was possible. For 12 minutes, I was clinically dead. No heartbeat, no breath. But those 12 minutes didn't just fade into nothingness. I was taken somewhere profound, somewhere so real that I'm still processing it. And what I experienced wasn't just for me. It was a message meant for all of us.
Welcome to Life After Death Experiences. Explore the mysteries of the afterlife through powerful and thought-provoking near-death experience (NDE) stories. Our channel features real-life accounts from individuals who have crossed the threshold between life and death and returned to tell their incredible journeys. Please subscribe to our channel and check the notification button to stay updated of the latest stories of the world to come.
Let me give you some context first. I've worked as an emergency room nurse for over a decade. My life has always been about science, facts, and the tangible. I've seen the best and worst of humanity, moments of despair and incredible resilience. If you had told me a year ago that I'd be sharing a story about dying and coming back with the message from Jesus himself, I would have thought you were crazy. But life has a way of turning everything upside down. That morning started like any other. I'd had a restless night after my son's soccer game. Do you know how your mind races with all the little things to do? I got up early, deciding to take a jog to clear my head. The streets were quiet, wrapped in that calm of pre-dawn, the air cool and crisp. I remember looking at my watch. It was 5:12 a.m. Everything felt so ordinary. Then, in an instant, everything changed. I don't remember the impact itself, but later, I learned that a distracted driver, someone looking at their phone, hit me while I was crossing the street. 1 second, I was walking, and the next, everything went dark. I expected silence, emptiness, and end. But what I found instead was something extraordinary. The first thing I noticed was the light. It wasn't like sunlight or any artificial light. It was pure, warm, and alive. It surrounded me, filling me with a peace I can't even describe. It wasn't just the absence of fear or pain. It was like everything that had ever weighed me down disappeared. I felt like I was finally home. Then, I saw colors, vivid, radiant colors that I'd never seen before. The air hummed with music, not from any one direction, but from everywhere, filling me with joy and love in a way I can't explain. And then, someone stepped forward. It was my father. He had passed away when I was a teenager, but there he was, standing in front of me, looking vibrant and healthy, like he was in his prime. His smile was the same, but there was something divine about him, a purity I can't describe. "Sarah," he said, his voice full of love, "you don't need to be afraid. He's waiting for you." Before I could ask what he meant, my father touched my hand. In that moment, I felt an incredible connection, as if all the questions I had for him were answered without a single word. Then something incredible happened. The light around me grew brighter and more focused, and there he was, Jesus. Trying to describe him is impossible. He wasn't like any image or depiction I'd seen. His presence was both human and divine, radiating a love and power I'd never known. His eyes were full of compassion, wisdom, and a depth that seemed to see straight through me, who I was, who I've been, and who I'm meant to be. I fell to my knees, not from fear, but from how humbling it was to be in his presence. He placed his hand on my shoulder and said, "Sarah, there's something you must see." And then he showed me 4 events, each more incredible and sobering than the last. The first was called the Great Distraction. I saw people all over the world glued to their phones and devices, disconnected from each other. Families were together but not talking. Friends were more concerned about their social media likes than about truly connecting. Even believers were distracted by the noise, losing sight of what mattered most. "This is how the enemy works," Jesus said. "He keeps them focused on the temporary so they forget the eternal. Tell my people to wake up." The second event was the Great Deception. I saw beautiful, mesmerizing lights in the sky, with beings speaking of peace, unity, and enlightenment. But their words were laced with lies. Even the faithful were drawn in. "These are not of me," Jesus said. "Tell my people to stay rooted in my word. It's the only foundation that cannot be shaken." The third was the Great Awakening. Waves of light spread across the world as people turned back to God. Families prayed together, communities worshiped, and miracles happened. Yet with this awakening came persecution. Believers were mocked and even killed for their faith. "The cost of following me will be great," Jesus said, "but the reward is eternal. Stand firm." The fourth and final event was the Great Return. The sky split open, and Jesus came in glory with legions of angels. The entire world stopped. Every knee bowed and every tongue confessed that Jesus is Lord. "Tell them I am coming soon," Jesus said. "Tell them to be ready." As the vision faded, Jesus spoke directly to me. His words still echo in my heart. "The world is entering a time unlike any it has known. I am always with you. My love is unchanging. Even in trials, those who trust in me will find peace beyond understanding." Before I left, he placed his hand over my heart, filling me with a rush of love so profound it brought tears to my eyes. "Tell my people I see their struggles. I am not distant from their pain. I am the God who heals, who restores, who makes all things new." And then, just as quickly as it began, the experience ended. I was jolted back into my body with an overwhelming sense of gratitude. I opened my eyes to paramedics, astonished that I had come back. Since then, my recovery has been miraculous. Despite being hit by a car, my injuries were far less severe than anyone expected. But the truth is, I know why. During those 12 minutes, I saw a vision of the world's future, and I feel a deep, unshakable clarity. I have to share this message, no matter how difficult or unbelievable it may seem. Some will doubt, others may mock, but those who are ready will hear, understand, and prepare. This message isn't mine alone, it's for all of us. Jesus is coming soon. Are we ready?